His business was almost down to roughly 20 crores at that time. Today his business is 250 crores. And he is planning to touch 1000 crores very soon. If not 90, 80% of the businesses fail because of that. Cannot do business with each other, it's a big no. If they do, they are removed from the group. People have grown from 20 crores to 3000 crores, 100 crores to 500 crores, 200 crores to 3000 crores. These problems are not addressed by any of these forums. So actually Ascent as an organization only focuses on addressing this part of the issues.
The most surprising thing you have seen among founders, like how they think, how their thinking got changed, or what kind of mindset shift is required? Hi everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of House of Manthan, and today we have Saga with us. Hello Sagar.
Hi,
Yeah.
how are you?
Good. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about your journey?
Yeah, so I'm quite old for the startup community, but yeah, I am a engineer of 94 and MBA of 97 batch from SPJN. In between, I worked for a year, and after that, it has been a journey of a corporate life, almost 27 years in a hardcore corporate. So started my career with petrochemical, polymer, went to a .com for a while into telecom manufacturing. And then my journey started in telecom service provider. So I was with Idea, then with Airtel, then with Reliance. And then I went to FMCG with PepsiCo. After PepsiCo, I went to a security and telecom firm, again into manufacturing. And then I shifted to IoT firm in Mumbai. So in my career, I have moved across 12 different cities, stayed in all different cities actually. And I always had a desire of retiring at the age of 45. I did at the age of 48. So I retired from corporate life, and then I had actually my own startup incubated in IISc Bangalore, semiconductor startup, and also one Section 8 company. But after that, I thought that's not majorly my cup of tea. So I actually was completely peacefully retired at home. Then obviously my wife got bored of me. So she said that you better get out of the house. So in fact, I decided I will give it back to the community, society, and I will only work for voluntary organizations. So I started my career of voluntary organization with Shri Mahavir Jain Vidyalaya as a CEO. It is basically providing lodging and boarding to students in major cities who come from far-flung areas. And then also mentoring the kids, actually, that is one of the things. Then I was the CEO of Jito Incubation Innovation Foundation, which is a part of Jito. And last almost 7 months, I have been with Ascent as the CEO, actually. So Ascent India Foundation, I am the CEO currently.
What is the exact Ascent Foundation and what it does?
Yeah, so Ascent India Foundation is founded by Harsh Mariwala. I'm sure most of the people would know Harsh is the founder of Marico and also founder of Kaya. And he had a very lonely journey when he started Marico. So he always thought that, if I want to give it back, then I would want to help entrepreneurs so that they don't go through the journey of difficulty which I went through. And he founded Ascent in 2012. So in 2012, he founded Ascent with an objective of helping entrepreneurs to learn from each other and grow. Because when he was stuck in his kind of building of Marico, he always got help from somebody who actually was doing a similar thing or a different thing, but kind of helped by the industry expert actually. So he started this as a concept that this should be a peer-to-peer learning platform. And they say that if you kind of feed one person, it will kind of help a person. If you give clothes to one person, it will help a person. If you give education, it will help a family. But if you help an entrepreneur, it will help hundreds of families. And that's what his way of giving back to the society was. So he started this as a part of his PSR, what we call it, a personal social responsibility. So in fact, Ascent is funded by Harsh Mariwala, not Marico. It's funded by his own personal wealth. And Over the last 14 years, we have helped more than 2000 plus different entrepreneurs. As of now, we have 1300 active members across India, 45 cities, 65 industries, family managed, first generation, services, manufacturing, age bracket of 21 to 74, and the total turnover under management, what we call like typically the asset management companies have asset under management. So we call turnover under management is a lakh and 30,000 crores, which is equivalent to 0.3% of India's GDP.
Got it.
And Harsh has a dream that like, I want to help 10,000 entrepreneurs. And maybe if we kind of multiply that, it would amount to 5 lakh crores Indian rupees of Indian turnover, which will contribute to 1% of India's GDP.
Got it.
So that's the objective of Ascent. actually.
Okay. So you mentioned that you are trying to help the founders
Yes.
and entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So what kind of pattern you have seen that? What kind of challenges they are facing right now?
So typically there are many industry forums available across India, and there are a lot of community forums also available, which kind of help the entrepreneurs in terms of business growth, in terms of networking, in terms of like getting across to other businesses. However, if you really look at the entrepreneur, apart from seeking business or like getting revenue or growing his or her own business, there are multiple challenges faced by the entrepreneur. So typically, if you see an entrepreneur's journey, whether it is a startup or a mature business, doesn't matter. They spend 90% of their time talking positives about their business because they ultimately want to impress someone, get a new client, investor, vendor, whatever. However, the real problems they have, which can be related to expansion, which can be related to sales, marketing, which can be related to HR, which can be related to finance, which can be related to cash flow, it can be related to multiple areas. It can be related to a problem or like dispute with a partner, another co-founder. These problems are not addressed by any of these forums. So actually Ascent as an organization only focuses on addressing this part of the issues. While networking, growing business is a side product, but actually we at Ascent feel that entrepreneur is the business. I mean, if we take care of the complete entrepreneur as a person, then the business will be automatically taken care of. And we have seen that people who have spent 10 years in Ascent actually as a Ascent member and gone through the grill what Ascent gives actually on a regular basis, their business have grown by more than 300%. That means, and these are mature businesses we are talking about. We are not talking about typically startups where it is easy to grow by 100, 200%. But these are mature businesses that are at like, different levels. So typically in Ascent, we have, you can say members who have a turnover of crore to like, 5,000 crores. And those people, so people have grown from 20 crores to 3,000 crores, 100 crores to 500 crores, 200 crores to 3,000 crores. So there are various examples because they found a platform where actually they can share their problems, and by solving those problems they can grow actually. So that's the entire objective why Ascent is formed actually.
Okay. So from all of these people who are already a part of Ascent, can you give one of the example that these people when they came, what was the situation, and can you walk us through their journey?
Yeah, so I can definitely give one example which will be kind of known as a Rolex ice cream. It's a ice cream brand in Calcutta, popular in Calcutta and like parts of West Bengal. So when he came to Ascent, he had inherited this business from his father-in-law actually. And during COVID times, the business really dwindled down. And actually, he was on the verge of closing the business. At that time, somebody told that why don't you actually go to Ascent? Why don't you speak to Harsh? Because Harsh himself has a FMCG background and like ice cream is a part of FMCG. So he joined Ascent during the COVID time actually. And his business was almost down to roughly 20 crores at that time. Today his business is 250 crores.
Oh,
And he is planning to touch 1,000 crores very soon.
okay.
And he swears by Ascent that Ascent is the organization that helped him to bounce back. And there are multiple such examples. Obviously, I mean, this is a publicly known example, so I can take the name easily. There are few people who have said that no, we don't want to disclose the name, but there are multiple such examples.
So let's say some of the founder who is like you, is there any criteria to join Ascent?
Yeah, so as of now, our criteria is that you have to be a business which is in operations for at least 2 years, because you don't face all the problems in the early part. Like, if you are just starting the business, then you will have a different challenge. But when you spend 2 years, have a sizable kind of, you can say, size of business, then you start facing the problem. So typically, our current membership says that you have to complete at least 2 years of operations, and you need to have at least a 50 lakhs of turnover in terms of whether it is services, or a 2.5 crores of turnover if it is manufacturing. And this is what we have been able to, and they need to have an organization. It cannot be a individual or a, you can say, a professional who is singly running the business actually, because we try to help organizations. So typically, as of now, we have, like as I told you, 1300 active members. The employee strength of these members is around 2 lakh plus.
Okay.
So that's the kind of size of organizations. Yes.
Okay. So once the founder joins this organization, what happens next? Like what kind of
Yeah.
cycle they go through?
So basically, Ascent operates on something known as a trust group. And trust groups are a group of 8 to 10 people, founders, who come from completely diverse background. So typically, if there is a group, let's say one group is formed for, let's say, 10 founders, and one founder is from chemical business, in that group there won't be any other person from chemical business. It would be, let's say, there can be a person from real estate, education, there can be a person from services background, there can be a person from IT, marketing, but not any chemical. So all the 10 people will represent different businesses. The reason for this is that the richer learning comes from other industries, because I know my industry well, and like, I have a lot of forums available where I can kind of get answers to related to my industry. But the richer perspective comes when I actually go across the industries, and that is what has helped. So even if you see, the best of the best ideas have come across the industries, not within the industry. So typically, they are formed into a group of 10 people. This 10 people are like kind of a non-compete background, number one. They are from a diverse background. So we have a mix of manufacturing and services. We have a mix of family managed business and first generation business. We have also a mix of gender. So there are male, female founders actually. And we have also kind of various growth stages of business. So people might be at a lower turnover, medium turnover, higher turnover, because everybody has something to learn from each other. And it's like, very natural that people say that, like, what will the higher turnover people learn from a lower turnover people, because they've already gone through that journey. But we have found that those founders who actually have crossed, let's say, 3,000 crores are still in a group with a person who is doing 30 crores. And when we ask them that what is, like, why are you still in the group? He said, this feels me grounded, because I also went through this journey. I don't want the success to get into my hair. When I come to this group, I feel grounded, and that's the biggest value addition I get. Apart from learning the agility, because the smaller businesses are much more agile than the larger businesses. They can do lot of turn around very quickly as compared to the larger businesses. So there is a value addition available. So once these groups are formed, then these groups are trained for specific behavior. So the trust group, what we have, operates under 7 pillars of the trust group. So the pillars are, first and foremost, it's absolutely confidential group. So the issues or the topics that are discussed within the trust group of those 10 people are not known to their spouses, family members, partners, children, or employees or best friends also. It is completely a trust group owned discussion. So it's a confidential, it's a non-compete, so there is no competition. It is a non-judgmental group. So even if people kind of place any of their problem, nobody will say, oh, this is a foolish problem. People really just say that, okay, there is a problem, we'll try to help actually. So it's a non-judgmental group. It's a safe space, complete safe space where people are free to share any issues actually. People are allowed and supposed to be vulnerable. You bring out your weaker side, it doesn't matter, because that's where actually the bonding happens. And it's a place where you are committed, because our trust groups meet every month religiously for 4 hours, and you are not allowed to miss a meeting actually. So it's like calendarized year in advance. And then last, you have to come with a commitment of giving and getting. Not talking about money. or not talking about any product or services, you have to be willing to give your experiences and get others' experiences. And people have gained a lot actually. So, these trust groups are formed. Once they are formed, and before they are formed also, these people are trained for the trust group behavior. Because as human beings, we are very judgmental by nature. I mean, like if I see a place, I'll immediately make a judgment like, no, oh, this is not good, this is good. But here they are taught that you should not judge, and there are proper, it's like almost a 6-hour training program which people go through. And most of these founders have never sat in a classroom actually, and here we make them sit in a classroom for 6 hours, and they go through that training so that they understand what behavior they have to kind of exhibit when they join the trust group. And then we do the first 3 meetings as a hand-holding meeting for the trust group, and then they get on their own. But before they get on their own, there is something known as a trust group constitution they sign. So it's like, they follow the rules, like it's like a constitution of India, it's a constitution of that trust group. Every trust group can have variation in constitution, but they sign it, they fix it where, when we will meet, how we will meet, what are the rules of exit, entry, what are the rules if there is a person coming late. There are, and then every meeting is a structured meeting. So there is a structure defined by Ascent, and they exactly have to follow that structure in that 4 hours of meeting.
Okay.
So that's what it is actually. So that's what we have actually as a part of the trust group.
Okay. Is it more like a BNI?
So BNI focuses more on networking, whereas we focus, so in BNI normally, or like any other like kind of a similar organization, people actually go and seek business because ultimately it's a networking platform.
Correct.
Ours is a very different platform. People come there to solve their problems. So while in fact one of the critical rules or the most mandatory rule is that those 10 people cannot transact business with each other.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a
They can't
mandate.
refer
They
to each
can
other.
they cannot do business with each other. They cannot kind of say that like, okay, if you need a HR services, I am available. They cannot. It's a big no. If they do, then they are removed from the group actually, because that's one thing which keeps the vulnerability going. Because if we two are in the same group and you are my customer, then how will I speak ill about you if I have a problem with you?
But if but what if I want to refer you to someone because I like your services?
That is possible. You can refer me to someone, but we can't do business within the trust group for sure.
Got it.
That's the mandatory rule actually. And that really helps because, I mean, there are millions of other opportunities to do business. Like, for example, we always say that like, if you come to Ascent, you can do business with 1.4 billion minus 10 people.
Okay.
So, the remaining all people you can do business except this 10 people. See, we are not like kind of, you can say, a jack of all. We want to expertise in certain area. So, we expertise in solving problems for entrepreneurs and we would like to stick to it. If you want networking, there are many other forums, many other organizations available. Feel free actually. I mean, so that's what we say, because we don't want to be a master of all. We are not, and we don't claim to be.
Okay. Is there any membership fees for this?
Yeah, so it works on a small commitment of annual fees actually. So normally people pay 20,000 plus the taxes as a 1-year fee actually. That's it.
Okay, got it.
But like in the same breath, I can also tell you that as an Ascent, all members put together, whatever fees they pay, just covers around 25% of the cost. The remaining 75% is funded by Harsh actually.
Got it. Got it.
So it is like a Section 8 company. I mean, we are not here for profits.
Got it. So what is the, like, if you see from the perspective of India, and you have been seeing like a lot of the businesses and a lot of sectors around this. So what is your view on that? What is growing? What is working? What is not working out?
So typically what we always feel that like, and I think it's true more at the startup end. It is never the core idea which fails. The core idea or the core product is a good to go, but it is the ancillary things around which generally fail and that stops the business. So typically like a startup, for example, if it's a startup, they will have a brilliant idea, make a brilliant product, but then taking to the market will be a problem. Getting funds might be a problem. Legal issues might be a problem. Tax issues might be a problem. Getting the right kind of finance person might be a problem. Building the team might be a problem. While the founder is very good, he or she can develop the product, but cannot do the other things. And what we realize in India, that it is the overall thing which is required for a business to flourish. It's not just one thing. I mean, I can have my core competence, but the business works as a on multi-facets, and all the facets have to come together. So I can't say that I know my product, but I don't have money. It doesn't work. I have to have money. It can't say that I have product and money, but I don't know how to take it to market. I should know how to take it to market. And these skills within the group are available with different people. So if I miss it, I actually kind of get help from other people. And this is one of the areas where actually even the startup struggle, even the traditional businesses struggle, because I'm not good at all areas.
Correct.
And for everything I can't pay also, because my business size or my funds don't allow. Then what is the best way to learn is learn from peers, where actually I really don't spend that money. I spend quality time.
You got it. And what is the most surprising thing you have seen among founders, like how they think, how their thinking got changed, or what kind of mindset shift is required?
Yeah, so I think that mindset is a very nice word, because at Ascent, we always say that we are here to expand your mindset. Let's say, for example, you have this glass. This glass can hold 250 ml of water. Now, I mean, I can, if I want 250 ml of water, I can put the glass under the tap or pour water. I will get 250 ml, I'm happy. But now, if I want to fill 500 ml of water in this glass, then even if I hold for 24 hours, 365 days under a tap, it will not hold that. For that, I need a bigger glass. And that's exactly what we do at Ascent. If you want to have problems which you have not faced, then you have to think what you have not thought. So that's where we actually expand the mindset. We give different kind of perspective actually. So a 6 at my end is a 9 at your end. We both are right. But unless I go and see from your end, I will never be able to see 9. And that is what we try to solve at Ascent. We actually try to work on the mindset. Because what we have realized, that any founder wants to change any result. Let's say, for example, increase turnover, build a team. Then they have to take action. For action, you require thoughts. And for thoughts, you require the right mindset. Because the mindset change only will change, thoughts will change, action will change results. So in fact, if you want to change results, you have to change your mindset. And this is one aspect which the people who join Ascent quickly within, let's say, a year or two, realize that this is what is required. I mean, if it's like a treadmill, if I keep running on a treadmill, I will be where I am. I am running, but I am where I am. If I want to change, then I have to change the mindset.
Okay.
And that's what exactly people gain when they join Ascent.
Got it. So lot of, like, I'm a part of startup community, and lot of founders are watching this podcast right now. So from the founder perspective, what are the things or what are the checklists you must want to tell them that these are the things should be done or you should consider before entering into the market?
Okay, so I mean, what, because I had a startup myself, so I can say that most of the startups, if not all, the founders are very good in developing the product or service. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them actually. They are very good at their own work. But they are not, most of them are not good at the overall overall other aspects of the business. As I told you, business requires finance, business requires actually compliances. I mean, there is a huge focus on compliance nowadays, and there are startups who actually just fail because they are not able to comply. A lot of on legal issues actually. So all these aspects, GTM, taking to the market, distribution, how to actually take a product, the packaging. I mean, there are hundreds of things which are required. And I always say to a startup or a founder or anybody actually who would want to start their business, that at least have people who are expert in different areas, if not you're part of your team, as a part of external help which can be available. Obviously, you can't afford a team when you are starting, but you can actually take help of people who are ready to help actually. I mean, for startups, there are a lot of facilities available across, especially in places like Bangalore or Bombay or Delhi or Chennai. But take help of people from expert areas. Like accounting becomes one of the, and most of the startup founders are not good at accounting. But that is one of the crux, because you have to file your accounts every year with MCA. And if you don't file it, then that is a non-compliance issue. So I think take help actually of the areas which you are not good at, because business will work at an overall level. It will not work at a single level actually.
Got it. And why do you think that most of them fails very deliberately?
This is the reason actually, because they are not able to stitch these issues together actually. And I would say if not 90, 80% of the businesses fail because of that. They might develop a product, they might develop a service, they might have a brilliant idea, they have done the right product testing also, but now they don't have a capability to take to the market. They don't have a knowledge of distribution. They don't have actually any backup to see how we can kind of engage for the compliances actually. So there are a lot of areas which people miss out. So that's where actually businesses fail.
Will you be able to talk about the sectors which are growing in India right now? Do you have any perspective around that?
Okay, so Ascent is sector agnostic, honestly speaking, because we have people across 65 industries who are members actually. So honestly, I am not the competent guy to say this sector is doing better versus that sector. But the fact remains that people who have been able to clear their mind of clutter, their businesses have grown, irrespective of what sector they are into. So typically, we always say at Ascent that there are thousands of people who are crying on the shoulder of entrepreneur. If you are an entrepreneurial founder, I mean, there are investors, there are actually customers, there are employees, there are vendors, there are partners, there are family members. Everybody is dependent on you, and they come to you with a problem. But whom does the founder go with a problem? And that's the place which is not created in a structured way. And that's what Ascent has attempted. That okay, you come here with your problem, there will be people around you to help it. Apart from that, obviously, we have industry experts available, we have mentoring sessions available, we have actually we call best of the best speakers, we have knowledge gurus available. So there are a lot of things we try to stitch around it. But the focus is this trust group, which is a peer-to-peer learning platform. That's what you focus.
Okay. So you have also worked in corporate at
Yes.
a very big level. So what kind of transition, like when you were doing this transition, what kind of change you see in your mindset, or you would like to guide people around that?
Yeah. So when I was 30 and I was in Airtel, I saw a lot of people struggling even at the age of 60 in terms of financial independence actually, although they were at a very good position across. That's where I had decided I'll retire at 45, become financially independent. My needs are low, so I don't have any issues actually. But I did retire. I did retire at 48 and stopped earning actually. Then I thought that I have some skill sets within me. Why not I give it back to the society? That's where I picked up this journey. So honestly, the journey of the voluntary organization has been very, very, very kind of fruitful for me and filling for me also actually, and very satisfying for me. Because on corporate side, I spend my life in sales and marketing. But on personal side, I am a mentor, I am a life coach, I am a habit trainer. So in fact, I have been able to help people in kind of, you can say, taking the right direction in their life. Especially me and my wife, obviously, we kind of train a lot of kids of age of 15 to 25 in mental toughness, especially to face competitive exams. And this we do actually. My wife is a postgraduate in guidance and counseling. But I also have spent a lot of time actually. I was a good student, and we were able to mentor our kids. So, like on a personal side, my daughter is pass out of IIT Bombay. She got into IIT Bombay. My son is in IIT Madras. It's rarely that both the kids get into the top two IITs I have seen across. But that's where it said that, okay, that means we might have done something right which helped them, apart from their brilliance in academics, which is like not our kind of what we have given to them. But yeah, so we actually, we have trained more than 1,000 kids in mental toughness, help them to do better than their potential. And like their parents vouch that, okay, I was not expecting that my kid would have gone into A, B or C, but with this kind of he has or she has got into it. So I think that's mentoring is our passion. We mentor a lot of kids because I have spent like 27 years in corporate life. I also mentor typical founders or employees, especially in the age bracket of 20 to 25. 25 to 35, sorry, where they have career questions. They have actually, should I change a job? What should I do with this business I have started? For career, for kind of a growth counseling.
Got it.
So that's what I do, and like no, I really enjoy doing that actually.
Okay, sure. So you mentioned you are a habit trainer plus life coach. So what advice you would like to give to the audience who is watching you right now? What is the very, like, it's personally for me as well. What is the main core thing that will help me in building the good habits?
Okay, so typically if I tell you that like this glass is full of muddy water, and you want clean water actually. So how do you do it? Like you kind of pour more water. So slowly and gradually, it will kind of become less muddy, but it will never become zero.
Mhm.
So the best option is that you throw that water, clean the glass, and fill clean water.
Mhm.
It's the same with habit. You cannot develop a habit if you don't give up one. So you habits are replaceable.
Okay.
They are not. You cannot make the habit die. I mean, you have to replace it.
Okay.
So if you want to develop a good habit, you have to replace it with a kind of some bad habit you have actually. And so typically, I mean, like it's not that I am a trainer as such. I am a trainer by practice. So obviously, I learned from a lot of books and practicing myself. So one of the things which actually so habit has three aspects. It's a cue, action, reward. So it's called CAR, car. So if you remember car, you will remember habit. So it's like cue, action. So for example, if you like you have a habit of eating chocolate, then like whenever you see a chocolate anywhere, it's a cue for you. The action you take is immediate actually, that like, okay, I will take it and eat. And the reward you get is like the taste of it, or like the satisfaction you get. Now, to break this habit, for example, one people say is willpower. So, okay, I decide I will not eat chocolate. So, one day goes, 2 day goes, 3 day go, fourth day I will eat a chocolate because it's not sustainable. So, willpower is good, but as they say actually, more than willpower, it is the mind power which is important. So for example, the best way for, if you want to come out this habit permanently, is change your environment. So for example, if you are storing chocolates in your refrigerator and every time you open a refrigerator, you are popping a chocolate, the best thing is remove the chocolates from the refrigerator and don't say that I will not eat the chocolate while I open the refrigerator. It is very difficult actually. So it's always better to, and environment, I mean in general, if I have to give one kind of a, environment is the biggest cause of habit. So for example, typically like let's say people who are used to smoking, they never started smoking themselves. They actually, some friend told them that like okay, come, one fact doesn't do any harm, and then they are always smoking wherein they are in the company. If the company changes, the smoking also changes.
True.
And there are like researches to prove that actually. So that's one of the like kind of I would say advice, that when you struggle to change a habit, go back, check the environment, and try to change the environment. Don't test your willpower much.
Okay.
It doesn't help actually.
One more, like, personal. Um how do you change the habit of procrastination that many of us are fixing through?
Yes. So honestly, I had the habit of procrastination, and so I can tell you actually that okay. So one thing I have changed in myself. 10 years back, I would say, yeah, 10, maybe 12 years back, I used to weigh 96 kg.
Oh,
Okay, and now I went down to 69. I am now at 72.
okay.
And I am pretty much, and all this I have done without any gym, without any diet, without any nutritionist, without any trainer. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, and the way actually I had thought I will do is that, okay, it took me like 10 years to gain my weight from like 60 to 96 or whatever I was actually. At the college time I was like 60, 65 kg. So it took me like 15 years to gain the weight. I will not try to reduce the weight in 5 years. I will reduce the weight in 10 years. I think this long term thinking has to be there if you want to change any habit. No habit will change overnight. It's like it's what they call the amygdala in our brain. There is a you can say a organ which is amygdala, and it is the one which is responsible or fight or flight response. I'm sure you have heard of this terminology, that since our ancestors were staying in jungles, whenever they faced any danger, they always thought of fight or flight. I mean, if they could fight, they would fight, otherwise they would run away. This kind of our brain is, it's still the ancestral brain. So whenever you actually, it sets up against a task which is beyond challenge, it will have a flight approach. So for example, if you say that I want to reduce 10 kg of weight, then your mind will not accept it, because it's like it will start running away. So the point is that whenever you want to change habit, do small incremental change which your brain will not realize.
Okay.
So if, let's say, I mean, I'm giving a simple example. Let's say you have a habit of waking up at 9 o'clock, not like early, but you want to have the habit of waking up early. So you will decide, okay, tomorrow I'll wake up at 5 o'clock. Great. One day you wake up at 5 o'clock. Second day you wake up at 5 o'clock. Third day you feel okay, I mean, it's okay, like, aap to chalega, like, 9 o'clock is okay. Then you again go back to 9 o'clock. The way to develop this is that, okay, I will wake up at 8:59.
Okay.
Your mind doesn't mind actually 1 minute of less sleep. It will adjust to that. So if you say for a week, I will wake up at 8:59, then you go for 8:58, then little stronger you go for 8:55, and it will take you 6 months, but you will reach 6 o'clock. But if you try to do it on day 1, you will do it for 3 days and not do it. So it's typically like gym. People sign up for a year's membership, go 3 days. Yeah, I am sure everybody has experienced that, like, your smile says it all. So when I started my journey, I never signed up for a gym.
Got it.
I said I will walk 100 meters.
Okay.
From 100 meters a day, in 3 years time, I ran a half marathon. It took me 3 years. I didn't start running in next like 6 months. And like, it's 10 years now. I have run more than 30 half marathons. I have run full marathon. Like, now I am on my own. Now I don't have to put an effort, because it's part of my habit. To build a habit, it takes long. But even to give up a habit, it takes long. So if you build up good habits, you will stay in good shape.
But talking about the procrastination, how did you
So
come on
again,
that?
I think the procrastination is again like, say for example, okay, if you have a task, you will say, okay, I will do it, let's say after tomorrow, or I will do it like, later on. What you need to do is just do small part of the task immediately. Say for example, you want to read a book. You are not into reading actually. So you will always procrastinate. Okay, I'll start reading tomorrow. I'll start reading Monday. 1st May is a good day. I will start on 1st May. And all of us have done that. Every year I take a resolution to read. So the best way to do is, okay, I want to start reading. I will read 2 lines.
2 lines.
2 lines.
Okay.
2 lines is easy. I mean, like, you won't mind. 2 lines will take 3 seconds or like 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
Sure.
I will read 2 lines and I will put it. Now my mind is used to reading 2 lines actually. Okay. Next day I will again read 2 lines. If I do it consistently over, let's say 15 days, 20 days, then I will be encouraged to read 5 lines automatically. The way to procrastinate is not to kill it 100%, to kill it step by step. Like for example, if I want to leave sugar and I am very fond of sugar and I am taking, let's say 3 spoons of sugar in my coffee, if I say I will stop sugar, yeah, with a strong willpower, I will do it with like, 1 day, 2 day, but 3rd day I will like, my body will say, yeah, come on guys, I need sugar actually. So then I will start with 3. So the better way is actually that I will take 3 spoons and I will remove 0.1 gram from it.
Okay.
My mind was realize, my taste bud won't realize. If I do 0.1, so in 10 days, I will lose like, let's say 1 gram I will lose. Another, like say in 1 month, I will lose like, 10 grams. Over a period of, and like 3 spoons, it will be 15 grams. So even if in 3 months I am to lose from 15 grams, I come down to 5 grams. It's a sustainable achievement, because now my taste buds are used to 5 grams of sugar. Instead of from 15 I came to 0, it will again go back to 15. And that's my way. I mean, it's not that my way is the best way, but this is what I personally
But this
feel.
is what worked for you.
This worked for me actually, for sure.
Okay, great. So I think what I understand is like rewiring the brain is the
Yes,
main thing
yes,
we are
yeah.
trying to do here.
They
when,
call it neuron rewiring, yes.
you are training people, you are being a life coach. So any interesting thing that comes to you that I solved this, or this kind of client I've been known?
Yeah, so one of the boys whom I was coaching for the 12th exam actually, and he wanted to appear for JEE mains and then JEE advanced. And like he was a good student in 10th, but like 11th onwards, he kind of kind of started wavering. And then his father reached out to me that like, can you help us? So what really I did actually was, and this is very interesting because he was very fond of using a iPad. Like immediately, आधा घंटा study के बाद he'll play some games in the iPad and like use iPad overall actually. So I kind of found all these habits. I went to his house. I actually saw where he's studying, where he's sitting, etc. Everything actually. And what I actually asked him a very simple question that like, in 12th, you have X number of chapters actually. So I said that, okay, you rate all the you list down all the chapters. So typically in 12th, if you are like PCM, physics, chemistry and maths, you have approximately 90 chapters, like 31, 30, 30, something like that, like, in physics, chemistry and maths. There are 90 chapters you have to kind of appear for in 11th and 12th combined. So I told him you list all the chapters and write your own confidence, how confident you are of attending, I mean like attempting questions from that chapter. Means how well prepared are you? Rate on a scale of 1 to 10. He rated and next day he was crying actually when I went and met him. He said that I will not get more than 25 because my preparation is 25%. Okay. I said, no worries. At least you realized that you are at 25% is a good start. Otherwise, I think I am at 75. Actually, I am 25. That's the worst thing. So he realized he was at 25. That's number one. So I told him only one thing, that there is a war going on. The people are firing bullets, and you go with a small danda. How are you going to fight that war? You are at 25%. You want to fight a battle of 100%. It's not going to work out. That actually made such a big realization in him. That day itself, he gave away his mobile to his mother. He gave away his iPad to his mother. And he said that I will not use this. I will only ask you half an hour in the evening when I just want to catch up on something. If any of my friend calls, then you don't. And that boy, I'm sure he would have flunked 12th. He did reasonably well. He got 60% mark and he got into a reasonably good college. I mean, that for me is a bigger achievement for me than my kids getting into IIT actually.
Okay.
So
Got
this
it.
was something like, yeah.
Got it. I think we had a very interesting conversation going from Ascent to founders,
Yes.
founders problem, and then talking about habits.
Yes.
I think it's a wholesome, good podcast for me and good learnings. Thank you so much, Sagar.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.